Hello, and welcome to some clipping error banter with me, Jimbo MS, because it's hard, to get all the news and stuff out and talk about it all during the week, because I work, and also, I'm getting myself together still after I smashed my head and gave myself concussion, which was not fun. So I'm just trying out something new. In the background, you'll see this was me last night. I was doing Destiny's raid, not raid. It's a strike. That's the one. The weekly heroic strike. No, the weekly Nightfall Strike. Sorry. Um, and I did it with these two. It's actually awesome gameplay. From me anyway, from all of us. It's so hard, such a hard strike to do, and I posted on Destiny LFG because nobody was posting on Destiny LFG, and these two guys added me. I think they were both level 29 in the end, and I was level 30, so it's not ideal because the strike is level 30 and it's hard for level 30s. But we like got through it. We died probably about 5 times in the first room where you've got to unlock the door with your ghost, and it's like a 3 rune thing. I don't know, the your ghost tells you, and we were doing that for ages and just died so much doing that because like 6 wizards come out at once right at the end and just destroy you, and I hate it. It was so bad, but we managed to get through there. And after dying so much, and Blizz, whatever his name was, Blitzen, I think he's one of the reindeers, decided to join me on Destiny, and he almost quit. In his angry Scotsman voice, almost decided, this is it, I'm done with Destiny. But as it turns out, he managed to finish the strike with me. We got to Fogoth, and we all died a couple of times, but not. We all didn't die at once, because when you do that, you have to go straight back to orbit and start the whole strike again, which is awful. It's the worst goddamn feeling ever. So, yep, we're fine. We did it. It was amazing, and just watch it. I'll try and cut the video down so that with what I'm talking about, you get to see it. Although there is no audio for that because this is more of just a random chat, a bit of banter about the weekly news and how crap it is and how good some of it is. So I've got a few things I want to cover. How many of them I get through, is we'll see. First thing, PSN discount, which is amazing, or not actually, as I discovered when I went home. So because there have been so many PlayStation Network crap outs over the last, since it started, there's been so many crap outs, people hacking it for no good reason, I'll add as well. It's like, oh, we want better service, so we'll hack you. Brilliant. All that's going to do is waste their time building security measures that they don't actually need to have in place. So that happened. And over Christmas, it was down, Luckily, I was away and had concussion and couldn't even conceivably think of playing Destiny, so I didn't care that it was down. Of course, I'm more than happy to take the 10% discount on anything. That's amazing. So on the PlayStation Network, you've got like loads of crap, but the one thing I think I'm going to get is Resident Evil, the new Resident Evil that came out whenever it was, probably this week, because that was pretty damn awesome. I've just realised I'm wearing my headphones, and I don't need to. I'm like looking around the room, making sure that there's no one around, but actually, it's just because I can't hear anything. I've just got these massive headphones on that block out all sound. They're like X Studio headphones. It's just such... Right, anyway, now that's done. So we've got that, so I'm probably going to buy that, although 10% is, £1.60 off of that. So if you buy anything under £1, you're going to be getting literally tens of p off of whatever you want to buy. So if you're up for that, by all means, that's amazing in a way. Yeah. Next thing. The next thing I don't get. This is such ridiculous news. So, is it Microsoft? Someone has released DirectX. I think it's 12. I don't know. I saw a bit of news about it, and I thought I should talk about it because it's a thing. PC gamers, even Mac gamers, all computer users, and to an extent, all console users need decent versions of DirectX, and they can do more stuff and blah blah blah. It's all good, but the only thing I could think about when looking at this was just, I used to play on the PC when I was like 10 or something, like the original Civ, Red Alert 2, and Yuri's Revenge and Generals, and the only thing I can remember about any version of DirectX is just the first time I loaded up Red Alert 2, it was there, and it was like, install GameSpy and all this stuff, and DirectX, because it was dial-up back then, and like my mum was so paranoid, she was like, oh, we can only have dial-up on for half an hour a day, because if we have it on for more than half an hour a day, it'll cost us £10,000 to just do anything, just to be online. So no using the internet for more than half an hour. So, and of course it meant that she couldn't get important phone calls that, if someone died, which they never did. Nobody ever dies. So, and in fact, in saying that, I found out today that a school friend not even a friend, just this massive douchebag died from my school. And I was like, oh, okay, people do die. So that happened. And anyway, DirectX. So DirectX, it would like pop up. It would say your version of DirectX is too low. It's too crap. You need a better version of DirectX. There's one on the disk. Do you want to install it? And the only thing I can remember about DirectX from then on is just my mum. She had this sense for just pop-ups that would come up. She would just be in the room instantly, and she'd go look at the screen and go, press no. And she just wouldn't accept anything, like stuff that was trying to help her, like stuff today. You jump onto a website, it's like, oh, you need Flash, okay, done. It's like 5 seconds and it's done. And she would just say no to all of this. And of course, and like I was like, no, we need this, otherwise I can't play this game. She was like, no, it's going to destroy us and give us a virus, and it's going to send all of my data to someone in Afghanistan who's going to steal my stuff. It's like, no, it's not going to do that. I was 10 and I knew this, and consequently that's all I think about whenever there's a new version of DirectX. This is the first I've actually noticed, probably because it was a slow news week. So that happened. I don't know how that makes you feel. Some people, I think, were kicking off because they thought they needed a new graphics card. Apparently you don't. Those are the two things that I remember from Windows and Microsoft this week, that there's a new version of DirectX and you don't need a new graphics card for it, which is incredible, obviously. What else was there? This is a boring piece of crap news. DayZ reaches 3 million. Nope, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, concussion's still there. DayZ sales reach 3 million. That's fairly impressive for a game that I don't even think is finished, or maybe it is finished. I get them confused. I get the DayZ and the WarZ confused because they are the same game, effectively, and they almost have the same name. There's 2 letters difference, and possibly a the. One of them might not have the. It's stupid. It's stupid. And I can't believe that so many people are playing online with H1Z1 coming out like this year for PS4, because that's blatantly going to be better because it's being built by Sony, not an indie developer. Not that indie developers aren't great. Indie developers are awesome, but the guy built it, launched it, and then disappeared for a month and left all these issues unsupported. And it's like Sony wouldn't do that. Or if Sony did do that, they'd give us 50% off on the PlayStation Network. So let's hope they do that on that tangent. No, let's hope that H1Z1 launches on PS4 and it's a piece of crap, and we all kick off about it, and we all, oh, you've ruined my life because I can't play online and I can't beat someone up with my bare fists in a zombie simulator. And we all get 50% off about 4 years later on the PlayStation Network, which will probably be called the PlayStation Now Experience or something. What else happened this week? Dying Light decided it was going to screw up its box launch date, which was pretty funny, actually, to be honest, because this game still releases on the 27th of January. So even if you pre-ordered it on PlayStation Network, if you've pre-ordered it on Steam or the Xbox Store, whatever that's called, then you'll get it on the day. It'll download, you'll get that game, and you'll be able to play it from the 27th. I mean, even from the 27th of January to the 27th of February, you'll be able to buy the game online and play it. But for some reason, probably some shipping or manufacturing, like someone in manufacturing was probably like, oh crap, we haven't made the game! We didn't make Dying Light! What the hell were we thinking? and then they were just like, oh yeah, it's totally your fault, developer. Which Ready at Dawn maybe. I can't think who made it. But there, that's happening, and consequently, we're also getting loads of DLC as a sorry for all versions of the game, which is great. And Amazon can piss off because they no longer have exclusivity of the Be the Zombie version of the multiplayer, which, to be honest, I didn't think they would have anyway, because it's the multiplayer and it was promised to everyone when it was announced. So Amazon were just being absolute dickheads and saying, this is just for us. So here's a Be the Zombie version. It was just like, no, that's a giant lie. So Amazon are liars. That's the news this week. Oh yeah, there was another thing. In Japan they're doing Bloodborne versions because Bloodborne is being made by a UK developer. So of course we're really unimaginative, and Japan have made. Someone's really unimaginative. They've made 2 PlayStation 4s, 2 different like limited edition ones for the game, and all they have are just the character on the box art. Not even embossed. It's just on the top bit of the PlayStation 4, the sleeker bit, not the matte bit, the sleek bit. It's just, what? That's not a limited edition. Your limited edition needs to be funky and messed up and no, more interesting than that. Which was weird. I just took one look at it. I was like, nope, no one's gonna buy that. In fact, no, some hardcore Dark Souls fan might buy it because the game's supposed to be like Dark Souls. We'll see. Speaking of Dark Souls, that was finished in 49 minutes this week. How about that? It's a really easy game. I haven't taken 30 written Let's Plays to get less than halfway through it or anything. What else happened this week? The Halo developers 343 something or other Industries? 343 Industries. 343 sounds like a futuristic company from like the Alien universe. Alien Isolation sold 1 million copies this week. Someone went into a shop and was like, I could, pre-order Saints Row: Get Out of Hell that comes out Friday. I could buy the DayZ, but there's so many people on there. It's just so saturated and it's so crap. I think I'll buy Alien Isolation, and that was it. And it was in a game shop, and they were like, "Woo! You've bought the millionth copy in the world of Alien Isolation," and they gave them like free face hugging. They just gave them free face hugs. They actually jumped on the counter and hugged their face, which it was weird. It made all UK news in Leicester, in like Oadby, the really small town where there isn't actually a game shop, because the local paper had a really, really snowy news week, and of course it wasn't real, and there is no local paper as far as I'm aware. But they have, as of this week, sold 1 million copies, which is pretty interesting, pretty cool. And on that, if you want me to do a Let's Play, in fact, I think I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to end up doing it. I've got the game, and I really enjoy playing it. I've only played little bits of it because it scares the crap out of me, and I get really stressed out and sweaty and everything when I play it. But I really want to do a full playthrough of that. So that's going to be on its way. But yeah, 1 million copies, pretty damn awesome for a game that didn't get the best reception. Everyone thought it was like, oh, it's the Alien game we've been waiting for, and then it arrived, and they were like, it's not the best. Just because, there are specific sections where the alien is there, and then there aren't, and then it's Alien plus all the Smokey Joes, and then it's just Smokey Joes and fire, and then it's like everything, and then it's like you're in space and you're dying, and just die, and you have to live, supposedly. But, 1 million copies. It's not a bad game if it's sold 1 million copies. Sid Meier, he's back at it because Beyond Earth was such a flop. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of the Civ channel from Yogscast, and they're all like, oh yeah, we hate Beyond Earth. It's crap. Civ 5's so much better. But when they first got Civ 5, they were like, oh yeah, we hate Civ 5. We're just doing it because it's got multiplayer and it looks better. Civ 4's so much better. Like Rythian in particular was just bitching about it profusely. But Beyond Earth seems to have not done that well, and it seems to be not that good, apparently. I've not played it. I've not got an opinion on it yet. So Sid Meier, in an attempt to secure more money to put every generation of his lot of the Myers family, whatever they are, Michael Myers' family, through college, he's making another game, and it's for Android. Is it for Android? I think it's for Android and iOS as well. So it'll be a big tablet game, a big iPad game, and a big PC and Mac game. And it's called Sid Meier's Starships, and it's basically after Beyond Earth. You've got a signal from like settlers, so like everyone who left Earth, someone got the directions so wrong that they took like another billion years to get to another planet and settle, and then do what you do in Beyond Earth, and then they're getting attacked or something by someone else, by like an alien race. So they are saying, come help us. And that's what it's all about. So you're exploring new territories of space, and you're taking on enemies, and you're going to have things like warships, colony ships, and some other ships. You've got like sneaky ships. I'm not sure how all the units work yet. I've had a little look at it. But you basically go around. It is Civ but literally in space. Like, you're not on planets, you're in space, and you're just managing your entire civilization as it protects another civilization / kills another civilization, possibly more, and you basically have to conquer the system or the galaxy. I think it's the entire galaxy. I've heard that, and I think that's a very good thing. But if it's anything less than the entire galaxy, it's not worth it in my eyes, because it's not going to be big enough. It's just going to be like a few star systems, and for a series of this scope, it's the natural progression to move to everything in space, basically. And I just hope that it is that. So that was announced this week, as well as what got launched, Grey Goo, the new RTS from it. They were Westwood Studios. Basically, the people, if you liked Red Alert 2, people essentially involved in that, Grey Goo came from. Grey Goo looks amazing. How good it actually is, I don't know. So check that out. It looks really cool. What else happened this week? We got the Borderlands Handsome Collection, which is the PS4 and Xbox One version of Borderlands 2 with all its DLC, and Borderlands the pre-sequel with all its DLC, which should be pretty good. The main selling point I was hearing is that you have co-op gameplay without needing to connect with your friends over the internet to their house, or for them to bring a PS4 over to your house. You can just sit there. You got a spare controller. You say, here you go, mate. They can just, go sign in, load up their character, done. And you and your mates can play up to 4 people, split screen, Borderlands action in your living room or your bedroom or wherever. It's pretty damn awesome. And that's something I think has been missing from games for a while, for almost an entire generation. The developers have just been like, nobody sits in the same room and plays games now. That's a huge lie, and I struggle to find games where I can play with people in the same room. And it just ends up being like open world games like GTA 5, like, oh, let's take turns, destroying Earth effectively. And that, to a degree, is great. But once you get to that point, you're like, I want cooperative gameplay. I need someone helping me. And Destiny would be all the better for it. Just going to put that out there, Bungie. Destiny would be better for it. More news. Speaking of Destiny, Crota's hard... What the hell's his raid called? Crota's End. The hard mode of that came out this week. And loads of people on Reddit, surprisingly, usually Reddit is where I go if I want to see the bitching about Destiny. Someone, and a lot of people were commenting the same, said that was the first time they'd had fun properly in Destiny. It wasn't like a grind. It didn't feel like a grind. It felt like a true kind of Dark Souls achievement kind of thing. Like you've fought against something for so long, and then you finally get to that point and you win, and you're like, oh yes, I don't even care if I get Radiant Shards as a reward. It's just, that feels so good. Which is pretty cool. I've not tried it. I've not done any of the raids in Destiny, just the strikes. The one you're watching at the moment is probably the hardest I've ever done. in my life. And it was just like, apparently this is the point that Destiny turns to be good. And I just read an article today about how the House of Wolves content is actually, could be really good compared to what everyone got in the Dark Below. Because the Dark Below stuff wasn't that much better, and then there was the Iron Banner immediately, so everyone could get to level 32 really easily. And I think Destiny is going to be a better game. Like, Bungie are going to make it a better game as they go forward. And from now, I think they needed that initial release to see how people thought, about what they were doing, and now they're going to change it and see how people think about what they're doing, what people wanted, basically. And if people bitch about it, they're going to be like, well, what do you want? Because they're literally doing everything that we ask. So if anyone's bitching, it's someone who goes against the curve, which they can be the most damaging. But we'll see. I've got high hopes for Destiny. I've always had high hopes for Destiny. I love it. And that'll probably be the background for all of these ramblings, for all of this Clipping Era Banter series. I think I'm going to try and do it a couple of times a week, but at least once a week, to do like top gaming news stories for me anyway. Not like, I'm not saying this is the news for the week that you have to know if you're a video game enthusiast. This is stuff that interested me. I've gone through all the new stuff. Like, I write about all the new stuff I'm interested in as well. None of it's just clickbait. It's all just stuff I want, and if you like it, that's great, and if you don't, I don't care. So if you like this, then chances are that we would get along. Also, right, this is something I want to add in to this podcast format kind of video. Kickstarter things I like. I've done a lot of Kickstarter looking at this week for whatever reason, and I found a few cool projects that I'm really excited about. The first of which you probably heard about. It did make big gaming news. Exploding Kittens conquered its goal within minutes, I think, and it's an amazing game. It's basically a Russian roulette card game. So you shuffle the deck, you put the deck down, you draw cards one at a time, play whoever. I think you can play like however many people you want. If you pick up an exploding kitten, you're dead, you're out. Now there are cards that combat exploding kittens, which you get to keep, like get out of jail free cards. And you can use those to, negate your losing. And there are also cards that negate you needing to pick up your card, kind of thing. So if you pick up a card, there's an exploding kitten right under your card, and the next person. Oh no, sorry. If someone before you picks up a card and there's an exploding kitten there, just after them, and you're going to have to pick it up. Or maybe not. What am I trying to say? So basically, you can pick up cards that make other people pick up more cards. You can pick up a card that makes you look at the cards so you can see how far down the next exploding kitten is, or the next get out of jail free card is, so you can plan your moves. Basically, you can see, I'm going to get this card, which is a skip move card, or I'm going to get this card, which makes them shuffle it. I should use it. Because I think you can choose to use those cards or not. It might be like Uno, though, where you have to use them, in which case it's going to be just random mayhem. But it does look really good. It's some Xbox One developers are making it. I think they just got bored of the abuse, if I'm honest. So they wanted something fun, and this is fun, and it looks great, and I'm backing it, and I think you should too. Check out the description below for the link. Below which you'll also find the link for Shadowrun Hong Kong. I don't think I need to explain that. That was like 4 hours and it hit its goal as well. It's almost hit all of its targets now. I'll just double check. That's what that click was. What it's on now. It's on $658,360. It needed 100,000, and I think it's $20,000 away from its last extended goal. Basically, at which point, you get a revamped Matrix, but anything after that, if they get $1 million, it says they're going to do another Hong Kong mini campaign. which is another 5 hours into the game, on top of all the extra missions and people that are already going to appear in the game, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. And Shadowrun, it's a series I discovered because of this Kickstarter. You don't get a game like this very often. There are possibly 4 or 5 of them, and they all look amazing. I'm going to buy into the series, but I'm also going to back this project just because it's so cool. It's so cool. And finally, Children of Morta, which has... it's about halfway to its goal. It's a roguelike hack and slash game. It kind of combines a few weird elements, but it looks like it'll work. So in the same way that Rogue Legacy was your family, there is a family, but like it won't. So if you die, you don't get to choose an heir. You have a set of family. They all have set skills. Like one's a blacksmith, one's a warrior, one's a forager, one's pregnant. I don't know how that works. So you go out into the land and you pick the character based on the skills you need, I think, to progress. I think that's how it works. So all the dungeons are procedurally generated based on the person you're moving, and you upgrade them each individually. You upgrade their gear each individually, but it's very much a case of if you don't complete the dungeon, that's it. So and then it will reset, kind of thing. But it looks so good, and the art style is incredible. Just weirdly incredible. So you should definitely check that out and give it your support, because it's pretty damn awesome. What else have we got going on? I think that might be it. I think I've covered the week's news in just around 25 minutes. My God, I didn't know I could talk for this long solidly. Basically, I'm just trying this out because I've seen a few people do it, and it seems like something. Because I really like listening to just people talk and not needing to look at the gameplay. And, you don't need to look at the gameplay. I'm just mentioning it because it's pretty cool. Well, for me anyway, I felt cool doing it. I just think it was so hard. I got to the end, I was like, this is amazing. I've done the best thing ever. No one's ever been this good at Destiny before. I did get a pretty cool chest armor as a reward, but, I'm not bragging or anything. It was exotic. But yeah, I just want people to be able to sit and listen to me ramble a bit about the week's news. Maybe they'll learn a bit, because some of this stuff isn't necessarily top quality news. It's just stuff I find myself interested in and looking at every day. And that's basically it. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. So if you do like this, obviously hit like. Please subscribe if you've not already subscribed, because that's what this is all about. And if you want me to do more of these, like more than once a week, stick it in the comments if you think that would be a good idea, because otherwise I'm not going to do it more than once a week. I don't think it's easy to do once a week. Like I'm still getting back on my feet after my concussion. My head's still not properly right, but this is something I can do, and I can edit, and I can get out to you on a weekly basis, probably at the weekend, on Saturday or Sunday. So just let me know, and you can let me know in a number of ways, obviously in the comments. But also go to Reddit r/clippingerror, or you can head to Twitter. Sorry, I sound like an airplane pilot then. We're gonna be putting the drinks trays back up in around about 10 minutes. If you could just make sure that you're prepared for that, and then I'll make an announcement about what movies you can watch on your return flight. Yeah, I dislike airplane pilots for that. But what was I saying? You can also get me on Twitter at JimboMS, at Jimbo_MS, or just tweet Clipping Error directly at Clipping Error, or head to Google+, we're both on there, or where else? There was some other social network that I use, but I'm not sure what it is. No, do you know what? That's all the social networks I use. There might be a Facebook page at some point. Check it out. See if there is a Facebook page. I don't know. Yeah, but just let me know. And thanks very much for listening to me, guys, and watching if you're watching the gameplay. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.